Hey, good morning. Cool December, Clearwater, Florida. Anyway, not as cold as a lot of you. Got this 2012. It's a Toyota Camry, I believe it is. Anyway, four-cylinder here, and went in, come in early this morning and pulled the codes on it, and P0304. So, gonna probably be easy, uh, cut and dry little thing. Um, so there are many places out there that will pull codes for you and say, hey, this is the problem, and take a guess at it. Um, and then you throw parts at it. Anyway, there's a better way to approach it. And sometimes if the part's cheap enough, that might be a way to go to save time. But cylinder number four is right here. I'm going to focus in a little bit. And we're going to, let's see here, we're going to, hey, right there, little spark tester here. Pull a coil up, 10 millimeter takes it out, spin it up. Coil should be able to produce at least 30 kV, no problem. And start the vehicle up, and you can watch and see what you can see here. Okay, I started it, ran it, and if you could see that, there was no spark jumping across this spark tester right here. Um, you could throw a coil at it if you want it. Could do some other things too, without getting too crazy anyway. Obviously, the coil has four wires on it. You got power and ground, control side. Um, Sometimes for the sake of the time in the field, we'll change a part if it's cheap like this. Yep. Or you can do this. Take the coil out next to it. Let me pair of pliers here. That thing, my fingers are just not as strong as they used to be. Push the little tab in there. Well, even doing that, not working very well. Anyway, I'm gonna have to lift it with a screwdriver on the tab to get it up high enough. So here's one other cylinder we know that's working. And here's that cylinder 4. So just swap it to that using your spark tester again. You can use a screwdriver if you really want it to be completely untechnical. Then on your ground, let's look for spark now on that cylinder. Okay, I didn't see it, but I could hear it. So you know that your coil was bad, without a doubt. But could there be two problems? Yeah, there could be. So you got to start with what you know, and you know you're going to need a coil. I've already purchased that last night, so I'd have it in here this morning. And this is not an expensive coil. This is an Ultra 8 here at 841 5215. If things look backwards on the camera, it's because I've got it in flip mode so I can see the picture of what I'm shooting here. All right. So let's put the coil back in number 3 where it belongs. Old coil up there. Put the new coil in the cylinder now that is, well, let's do this first just because. Let's get our spark tester out and then once again just start it for a second. Back on ground. All right. Which we've already kind of done this anyway because we know, well, never mind. It's stupid. I don't know what I'm thinking. We already know that we got control. Sorry about that. It is early. All right. So we could still have a bad plug. We could still have a bad injector or something like that. But let's start this up now and see if she runs smooth. All right, she's running smooth. I know with this mic canceling out, you can't hear it, but that has actually fixed this car. So that's a simple process right there. Um, the reason I'm sharing this is because, if you go somewhere and they pull the code for you, and many regular customers that don't work on cars say, "Oh, doesn't that computer just tell you what's wrong with it?" No, it gives us an area to look at. Without that, boy, we'd really be in trouble, but it gives us an area to look at. So when we do that, we have to then determine what the cause is. So it can obviously be a wiring issue, a ground connection issue, or a control side of the computer not controlling the coil itself, the spark plug, the fuel injector, a vacuum leak, a compression problem, timing issue, many things like that. This one was simple, and we're always thankful for those. But if you're doing it yourself and you want to take, a little somewhat educated guess at it, eliminate that the simple way, just like I showed you. And then you at least know that in most cases that will be the problem and you'll be able to move forward. If not, then you're going to have to take it to somebody to actually have it properly diagnosed. But codes don't mean sensors, don't mean components. It can be a mechanical problem, it can be other issues. And sometimes we spend hours of time just pinpointing the problem that we don't get paid for. Um, and sometimes, unfortunately, we have to call in others to help us locate those problems because the answer to what's causing the car to do whatever it's doing can be very expensive. And we don't want to guess at it. And if we do and we're wrong, well, if you're like me, which I've done it on occasion because I couldn't even get help and find an answer and really couldn't come up with a conclusion on an intermittent problem and things like that, I throw a part at it. It was expensive. Didn't get it right. Guess what? Customer's not happy, but my honesty is, customer, you're not paying me for that. I take it off your ticket, start over, and try to get back to the root of what the problem is. Hey, thanks for watching. Hope this was helpful. Um, See you soon.